ACB family, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball. Hope you guys are well. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Yes, it's another Warriors chat. The news over there, the Warriors just keeps on cycling, and I'm here to give it to you guys as is, plus my opinion as well on the matter. But in saying that, before I get into it, hit that intro. All right, guys, here we go. Right, the news is here. The news is upon us. So this is from istuff.co.nz, known as Stuff as well. Again, this is the news that they brought to us. Shnaris Tavita, contract talks. Now, we as fans, we understand Shnaris Tavita. I think he's that type of player whether you either like him or you don't. I think a lot of the time people usually give him the heavy hand, which is, look, it's fair criticism in some aspects and obviously unfair in others. You get those who defend him, you get those who just don't like him, and it is what it is. That's just the nature of the sport. Now, Shnaris Tavita, as we all know, did turn down earlier on a contract from the Warriors, right? As we understand, this is his last year, so quite literally, if things don't pan out, he's out the door, right? That's the reality. So, what's happening next week in Brisbane? Apparently, there's talks between his manager and the Warriors to, finalize what's happening. Now, my understanding is that he was asking for a contract with the Warriors, and the person at the time, Peter O'Sullivan, who's now, with the Dolphins, so I'll try and wrap that little mess up there. But he actually declined. He didn't offer Shnaris Tavita what he wanted or offer him a contract, whatever it was. And I guess Shnaris Tavita, once he left, there was the new manager came and offered him one, and he just said, "No, I'm all right. I'll just leave it as is." Now, the irony behind that, which I'm going to try and wrap it up with, is that obviously the Dolphins are playing next year. Guess who's there? Peter O'Sullivan. Were there talks behind and closed doors? You know what I mean? Like between the two, was there something happening there? Honestly, that's nothing about Peter O'Sullivan being part of the recruitment management, then going straight to the Dolphins. He was there. He was right in the midst of it. And I might even do my own little personal view on Peter O'Sullivan as well, like a different video on my views on him and what could have happened. But, he could have been talking around the camp, here and there. You know what I mean? Slowly, secretly enticing some of the Warriors players to go. I don't know, but you get what I mean. It's messy. Anyway, point being, Brisbane, next week, the contract talks are happening. Now, according to the article as well, there's also a few other teams interested. Raiders in particular. I didn't name the other two, but I'm going to assume the Dolphins. I'm just going to. Granted, Peter O'Sullivan may not have wanted him, but he probably did in another way. You know what I mean? Like, it just is the way it works. Now, give me your thoughts on that. What are your thoughts? Should we sign him? I mean, obviously, you got the likes of Volkman, Metcalf, Dejan Asi coming, right? Dylan Walker. You know what I mean? So the Warriors in that department, especially for next year, will fill with stuff. I mean, you could even throw Reece Walsh in there as well, right? It's like the last sort of resource if you have to, in terms of halves, but you get what I mean. And obviously, you've got Sean Johnson there, the leader. So again, it looks like we're sort of healthy there. Is there room for someone like Shnaris Tavita? Yes, there is. I think so. I think there is ultimately. But again, what does he do? Now, with that aside, this is my personal opinion. Look, I touched on it before. With Shnaris Tavita, obviously, defensively, good player. Has in my opinion in recent games really shown what his potential is from the attacking standpoint, which I've really admired. And obviously that game against the Storm where he ruptured his aka hold the ball, if you get what I mean. That shows you the heart he has. That shows you the player he has, which is good to see. It's very encouraging actually in my opinion. But again, as we turn into the contract talks, I think it's really vital. Now, it's not the word care, but, if he goes, is it a bad thing? If he stays, is it a bad thing? That's what I'm trying to dissect here. Ultimately, if I'm looking at it from both standpoints, from our standpoint, it's good to have him because of what he offers. I think he's a good defender, to be fair with you guys. He's not scared to take things as is. But then the other side of the coin, though, is, for example, the crop we have for next season, right? Like I mentioned them. How do we feel comfortable? Do we feel good with them, right? Like, can we trust in them for next season? The Volkman, Metcalf, so on and so forth. And if you look at it from either way, I mean, you're probably not. We could use him, absolutely. You know what I mean? And it's sort of like a sad story if he does go, because obviously he was for the Warriors, since he was young. But that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the game. It is what it is, as I tell you guys. However, from my personal opinion, again, trying to reinstate what I've been saying before, look, if he goes, he goes. If he stays, he stays. There's room for him, but I think with the Warriors, there's a direction there. There's a clear direction. And I think Shanaris Tavita perhaps has probably already seen the pieces being made and has already made up his mind. But at the same time, we just don't know. But there are negotiations happening. And I think we'll know as soon as next week. But I think from our standpoint, from the Warriors standpoint, it's good to get an answer as soon as possible. Obviously, so we know what's happening next year, and so on and so forth. But in saying that, that it is what it is, right? Like, you can't do much about it. But again, tell me your views on it, right? Do you want him to stay? Do you want him to go? What are your thoughts? The future, I think, in my opinion, looks bright either way. But in terms of just keeping a player like him, you would. But in saying that, if he goes, he goes. That's where I fall. Anyway, guys, that's been me for today. I'm actually going to be live later on today watching the Cowboys against the Knights, along with Sam Rebel. So I'm looking forward to that one there. Join us as we have a yarn, laugh, and obviously watch the Cowboys play against the Knights. And also, I'm going to Brisbane next week, and I'll see some of you guys there. Want to catch up? Please let me know. You'll see me, the beard and all that stuff. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be clean shaven or anything like that. But in saying that, again, thanks again, guys, for watching. Give me your opinion, but take it easy. Just remember, hold the ball. See you guys next time.